On target number 1, representing the Republic of Korea,
1号保卫韩国队
An San. Kang Ji-yoon. Lim Si-hyun.
郭子颖 雷天颖
The team competition with Chinese Taipei, but it's going to be Korea to get us underway.
10.
What a start from the triple Olympic champion.
She seems unfazed by it, as if this is her default setting.
It's interesting to look at the lineup. I'll give you the two stronger archers for Korea going first and going straight into the 10 as well. Early stages here, Chef, early morning as well. Just remind us how the scoring works in a team recurve competition.
So team recurve, each team shoots 6 arrows, so 2 arrows per archer. They get 2 minutes to do so. It's alternate shooting, so and then they end up with 6 arrows per team. The higher score of the team, or the higher score in the set, will get 2 set points. Tight score will
5 the target.
9.
A little high. So I should say Peng and Lei Kuo shooting third, youngest member of the team.
9.
So the early stages is all about getting your eye in and getting into the centre of the target. And as you can see, Korea very well set up, but dropping low into the 8 there.
And for all the viewers who are not that familiar with archery, we're getting a very good look at the Korean team here, and especially the Koreans, the women's team is known to have archery, and you think to yourself, how should I actually shoot? These 3 archers can show you really well what you should be aspiring to shoot like.
Chinese Taipei need 3 10s to share the points with Korea, otherwise they will go into a 2-point lead, and that is the case already. Chef, I'm going to ask this question a million times.
Because you can obviously use the information that you gather by shooting them. It's a good mark on the finals venue. You can use these arrows without having any consequences of not hitting the middle. But it's also just to get in the group.
Settling now, as you can see, the Koreans, how did you put it? They right at home. It's default standard operating procedure. Korean team who lead Chinese Taipei by 2 set points to 0. Time for the start of the second set.
8.
So that's her third 8 on the right that she shot so far. So she was adjusting her sight, but maybe not doing it adequate. What's interesting here is the order of operations at the Chinese Taipei team, because we see Kuo shooting the 3rd position here, and then the next rotation, at least that's what they did in the first set, rotation. So
protecting her in the middle of there's the least experienced on the team, protecting her in the middle 2 arrows.
Yeah, so they're putting her in the middle of the set, which is typically the least pressured situation.
But go through her process, of course, but also alleviating any pressure of having to shoot a high score right at the end.
Speaking of high scores,
they don't quietly walk through the back door, do they? When they return,
they just stomp it down.
9.
Take a look at the front hand now of Kuo. You can see the fingers move quite a lot when she is shooting. And I don't know if this is a mental cue or if this is something to keep her hand relaxed. but typically you'll see, well, Lei does a similar thing. She kind of makes a fist out of her hand while extending. But typically you'll keep your hand as relaxed as possible and not do too much with your fingers.
9.
So outscoring their total in the first set by 2 points. Korea could get 59 with 3 10s here.
9.
Chinese Taipei team not doing the same in Korea. It's the youngster who's anchoring.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a decision to make her gain experience or if she's just comfortable in that last position. But they must have had, like, they must have put some thought into this. But there's a lot of reasons to switch the team order around sometimes, and yeah, as an outsider, you're not really sure what those reasonings are.
I certainly should know. Quote Lei and Peng staring down the barrel of a gun at 4-0 down. They start the third set and need to outscore the Koreans to keep the match alive.
So interesting with the front hand here. The making the fist is almost a way to get that last bit of extension to get the arrow through the clicker, by, you know, making your hand a bit harder. Normally you would not use your hand to get through the clicker. You would use your shoulders and arms. But if it's, you know, get that final squeeze in, to do that last, like, final bit of extension.
29 set at the halfway stage by Chinese Taipei. Certainly the best start to a set they've had.
And they will need to win the match, so they need a high score.
So a real pressure arrow, this one, on the Korean youngster. Completely taking it in her stride. To level up a little bit here. Can they maintain it to get the 2 set points? I think an 8 is a bit, could be terminal.
Yeah, especially in this situation where they already have tied the first rotation of the set.
9.
And you know that they will probably shoot a high score in the second rotation as well.
Peng Chia-mao finishes with a 7. This now looks very tricky indeed for Chinese Taipei. Yeah, fallible. Still room for error here. They technically could get away with 3 8s here. 24 is enough.
9.
So a 7 for the win. Burden on the shoulders of Lim Se-yun. Puts it into the 10 for a 56 and a clear 6-0 win. There is really only one thing to say: Korea are back.